Welcome, family, to our monthly virtual conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm glad to have everybody tuning in. I need you all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and share this video podcast on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and any other social media sites that you are on. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This video podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. I encourage all of my listeners to scroll down to the comment section below this video podcast and click on my Medium transcript in order to follow along with this presentation. If you are serious about doing business with me, then please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox, and I will email you everything that I do online. We host our virtual conference every last Saturday of the month until we are able to raise the funds for our film project, quote, Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. This is a solution-based docudrama based on my experience growing up in the inner cities of Chicago. It's also based on my revised book and the purpose why I created the grassroots community activist movement. This is our Black Panther moment, except it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by GRCAM members. We use crowdfunding on our GoFundMe page and also on our PayPal page, so that everybody knows exactly where the money is going. So I recommend that, you would check those 2 sites, I would say, every 2 weeks to see the progress. The donations will help with our marketing campaign, production, and legal expenses to make this docudrama. We're asking that you donate what you can. We aim to raise $250,000. If you are a U.S. citizen, then you can donate through our PayPal giving fund. You can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. Let's keep it a buck. For 32 years, Black America, specifically Black Chicagoans, have rejected and overlooked my vision and plan to help improve the African American community. Since January of this year, 2024, I have been hosting weekly video podcasts and given everyone on my Facebook friends list an opportunity to come on this platform to promote their business, African business, small ministries, and yet out of 2,000 people that's on my Facebook friends list, only 1 person has donated to our film project so far. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unacceptable. I named this platform Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, not for entertainment, but for a call to action. We can't sugarcoat genocide. If you're not interested in our cause, then delete me off your friends list and do not come to no events with my name on it, and that's real. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book, buying items from my virtual store, or donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. Now at this stage in the game, Black America has 2 choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. Those of you who have taken me for a joke will not be part of my Christian business because this is membership based. I'm asking everyone on my Facebook friends list and all other social media sites that I am on that you're listening to. Please do me a favor, purchase my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. Either my ebook for $9.99 or the paperback for $15 plus shipping and handling. And read my story for yourself. You can find my book on my Amazon author page. I provide the link in the comment section below this video podcast. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about it, and encourage others to support my work and get behind this film project. I encourage African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria, to please purchase my revised book and read my story for yourself. If you agree with what I'm trying to do to help improve Black America, then I ask that you donate what you can to the film project, and also make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can talk about it and get others involved. Work with me to build GRCAM of Chicago. That is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. The sooner we get this film project popping and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then that will put me in a better position financially so that I can purchase property in Chicago, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and African immigrants within the United States of America so that we can build GRCAM of Chicago. GRCAM of Chicago will serve both the African American community and the African immigrant community for credibility. Then I will be in a better position to turn the business over and bring the business to the African continent, starting in South Africa. The purpose of me doing all of these video podcasts is to gather like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants in America to work with me to turn my vision and plan into a reality by building the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for Black families, and also to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do before we expand to Africa. We will bring the best of the diaspora to each African nation so that we can set up local chapters and do international trade among our brothers and sisters on the continent, especially the ones that's going to be GRCAM members. We will reconnect Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists. In this Christian business, our objective is to heal from enslavement and colonization. GRCAM will take the lead in solving Black issues within the United States of America, as well as throughout the diaspora. Lord knows I would like to do more than just news and social commentaries. But at this point, I am working on a shoestring budget. All I have, all of my funds go towards rent, food, and bills. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, and that is to build the best African American business within the United States of America. This is a Nehemiah assignment. I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can move GRCAM to the next level. And that is making our presence known in the African American community as well as in the African immigrant community. I encourage Black millennials and Generation Z to get behind this film project and help me get this revised book on the bestsellers list, so that way the black world can take us serious. After all, this Christian business is my gift to you and your family. I encourage all of my international friends in my African group, GRCAM of Africa, even if you're unable to participate in these events, please watch the replay. Leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page and share it with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my Christian friends in my Christian groups, Light of the World Inspirational Group and Christian Spoken Word Network. Even if you're unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share it with all of your friends on social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my supporters in my secular groups, GRCAM of Chicago and GRCAM of Africa, as well as New Black Voices of Media, etc. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share this video podcast with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. The title of this presentation, GRCAM Virtual Conference, Saturday, October 26, 2024. Theme, Trapped in America while still fighting for Black America and Africa. Before I go into my presentation, I need to inform all of my listeners. On October 1st, I believe someone who works for Facebook had an issue with my political views and decided to send a virus to my smartphone, which crashed. I made several attempts to retrieve my Facebook account by sending Facebook my photo ID and voter registration card to prove my identity, and yet I am still unable to open my account. I thank God I made a backup page, but it's limited. I can only send and receive messages through Facebook Messenger. The best way to reconnect with me is if you send me a friend request to my LinkedIn page or to my TikTok page. Just register for a free account, then type in my full name, Emmanuel Barbee. That's E-M-M-A-N-U-E-L, last name B-A-R-B-E-E. Also exchange emails with me so that we can stay connected, as well as for me to make arrangements so that you can get on this platform to promote your, if you're an author, you can promote your book. If you're a musician, you can promote your music. If you have a small business, you can promote that on here, as well as if you have a small ministry. That's the whole purpose of me creating this platform, so we can network with each other. I'm not on here just trying to sell my book or promote my, raise funds for my film project. I want to connect with each and every one of you that's listening to me, because you are the ones that's going to help me build this business. So right now it's just ideas. I need for you all to help me turn my ideas into a reality. I encourage all of my listeners to please go to my Medium page, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove so that you can follow along with this presentation. Once I'm done with this presentation, I will open up the phone line so that you can come on the show and express your thoughts. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute will be dedicated to inspiring Black youth / African youth and their families through entertainment, community advocacy, and educational focused initiatives. Our primary initiative is to build Black media centers for our members and students to explore the creative realms of radio, television, and news media. GRCAM of Chicago aims to contribute to the positive healing process of descendants of American slaves/freemen and their children. We believe access to multimedia experience will bring positive results, stimulate adventures, to encourage optimistic thought. We want to give our Black youth, our African youth, an opportunity to participate in our Black empowerment films and gain firsthand experience in broadcasting, programming, and operating a multimedia technology. We're on a mission to connect with other like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants within the United States of America through this platform. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then this will help put us on the map. The GRCAM members collectively will help build this business, and so that we can heal from the scars of enslavement and colonization. We will declare war on this Willie Lynch mentality within Black society so that the new generation can have a different experience and reconnect back to the people who we once were before we encountered the white supremacists. Reconnecting with our extended brothers and sisters on the continent is our goal, but first we have to learn how to get along with each other as Black Americans, in terms of connecting with other like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants who are already here. We aim to promote healthy Black families and have an interactive space where our children can have fun, learn, and be in a safe environment. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago objective will be to turn around our inner cities by providing quality programs and services, community advocacy, and through our Black Media Network. GRCAM of Chicago will take the lead to educate and inspire our members and students one community at a time. We aim to become an economic base within the African American community and the African immigrant community. Our mission to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, and hosting African and Caribbean tours. We will promote Black economic empowerment by teaching our members and students how to obtain economic independence and become self-sufficient. After 15 years of being rejected and overlooked, I was led to create a nonprofit social enterprise called the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. A social enterprise is a business that uses a market-driven approach to address unmet needs or solve social or environmental problems. Employment and community is key to ending senseless violence in impoverished urban neighborhoods. We will be a community of like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants who share the same values and purpose through teamwork and are committed to ongoing personal and professional development. We will control our curriculum. We will offer accredited associate degrees and accredited certificate programs for our vocational training. Under our fashion design program, we will create our own designer handbags and accessories, gym shoes and t-shirts, etc. Our artwork will be about creating opportunities for inner city youth and their families, overcoming enslavement and colonization into thriving Black businesses and African businesses. It's about personal development, the inner work that brings potential to stitch lives back together that have been that have been severed in the turmoil of trauma. This institution will help change the lives of inner city youth and their families. Our brand is a message that healing is possible for those who want more out of life. Our objective is to help improve the quality of life for local residents we will serve in the community. In addition, we aim to promote economic opportunities in the African American community and in the African immigrant community by being a community advocate and resource for GRCAM members and students. We will promote our members' businesses through marketing initiatives, public relation campaigns, and cooperative advertising that reach local, regional, national, and global markets. GRCAM Chicago will function as a support system that will empower the African American community and the African immigrant community, both socially and economically. We will highlight members' businesses at networking events and in our monthly newsletters. Our tourism component will help drive tourism to Chicago as a voice of advocacy for the African American community and the African immigrant community. GRCAM Chicago will build a strong foundation for our programs and services. We will strengthen our ties to the community at large through educational workshops, seminars, and neighborhood initiatives that benefit everyone. In addition, we want to increase the collective impact of our members and students in the area of education and economic opportunities. Our vision, we envision a world in which Black youth, African youth, can unlock their full potential and dare to dream. A world in which opportunity and economic mobility are accessible and equitable for them. We will provide opportunities for our children and youth to grow as leaders and gain access to education and career advancements. Our objective is to support and strengthen the Black families, African families, and our communities by investing in our youth so that they can become great world leaders. Community research. We will focus on gathering data about the community we will serve to measure our progress on a bi-monthly basis. We cannot settle for less than what is owed to us. Reparations will help close the wealth gap between Blacks and whites in America. We're independent, nonpartisan, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We want economic tangibles in the forms of lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves/freedmen. We also want an anti-Black hate crime bill. GRCAM Chicago will be a multi-purpose facility functioning as a nonprofit as well as a for-profit business. GRCAM Chicago will operate under 9 separate functions under one roof. We will have a social service component, a spiritual component which will be optional for secular people, a political component, entertainment component, entrepreneur component, health and wellness component, Black media component, science and technology component, travel and tourism components. Under the for-profit service business sector, which will be known as the Red Zone, we will offer a state-of-the-art recreational center which will have bowling, high rope, adventures, captivating game rooms featuring the latest video and amusement, stylish billboards, energetic dance rooms, and quality restaurants. Various businesses, on-site childcare, and on-site music recording studio for our members and students making documentary films and stage plays. In addition, we will host family-friendly activities, including combination deals, birthday parties, weddings, and corporate parties and events, as well as karaoke. We will offer rental space for our members who have businesses. Under the nonprofit cooperative, which will be known as the Green Zone, GRCAM Chicago will be governed by the advisory board. GRCAM Chicago will be membership-based and operate for the mutual benefit of our members. Also, any earnings we make are returned to our members in the forms of lower prices through our quality programs and services. We will assist our members with their utility bills depending on our budget and sponsorship. We will offer light groceries through our food pantry and tutorial services for Black youth and their families. We will practice group economics in real time by pooling our resources together in order to create and control our own community health care center, community grocery store, and community housing. This will be group economics in action. GRCAM Chicago will help benefit Africa because we will form an alliance with African immigrants in the United States of America, starting here in the city of Chicago. In each African nation that we will visit, we will match Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists, so that we can do international trade among our brothers and sisters on the continent that are GRCAM members. We also plan on setting up local chapters in each African nation that we visit. Our objective is to unite middle class, working class, so-called underclass Africans with the diaspora and vice versa. GRCAM members will build the best African American business within the United States of America with God's help. The sooner we get this popping in America, the sooner I can turn over the business and expand my Christian business on the African continent. We're going to separate ourselves from con artists, domestic coons, sellouts, and off-code Negroes. If any Black person in America is caping for the Democrats at this time, then you are disrespecting our ancestors. We shouldn't be fighting these battles today. If the civil rights generation would have stood on Black business and got our economics in order. Today, we have to fight to close the racial wealth gap between Blacks and whites in America by pushing for lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves / freemen. Truth be told, many Black Americans at this time settled for interracial sex and being included into mainstream society. Y'all abandoned Black businesses, and now we have to rebuild Black America all over again. This is what I talk about in my revised book. The civil rights generation was fine with just accepting symbolism from these career politicians. Today, we're demanding economic tangibles for our vote. The Democrats are for open borders, allowing millions of illegal immigrants, men who are military age, in this country, flooding the African American community and competing for benefits and resources from our community, and also to compete against our children. On this platform, we're going to try to make things right for Black American youth who want more out of life. I don't want to see my people destroyed because they fail to understand the evil plan set against them by the white supremacist financial elites. We got to deal with these career politicians. A lot of us are going to vote against the Democrats. I have done my best to encourage Black youth and educate them about what's happening to us nationwide. I just put out the facts. I am not a threat because, let's keep it a buck, out of 2,000 people who was on my Facebook friends list. Only one person has donated to our film project since January. That's not cool, ladies and gentlemen. That's not cool at all. It's a straight up turn off. But like I say, somebody has to do this, and I'm here for that. Now I am unable to access my Facebook page. There are people on my friends list that will still vote for Kamala Harris, and that's their business. I did my part to warn Black America. I put out the information that's going to help Black Americans have a better understanding about the consequences behind their vote if they continue to vote for the Democrats. We're fighting to get reparations for descendants of American slaves. For Generation X, Black Millennials, and Generation Z, that would be equivalent to the Civil Rights Act. Our grandparents did not leave us an inheritance. The white supremacist financial elites are trying to roll back all of the accomplishments that our ancestors fought and died for so that we could have a better experience in this country. I am just trying to build this African American business within the African American community for credibility before we expand it to the African continent. Reparations will be our last fight in America, and that's what part of my film is going to be about. We need like-minded Black Americans to be on board with this. We also need African immigrants to be a part of this as well. If you're not going to assist us in helping us do that, then keep it moving. I'm going to stop talking about our situation in America. Once the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago is up and running, then I can turn the business over to qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants. So that way, this business can be passed down to the next generation of GRCAM members before I expand the business to Africa. I also want to make publicly known that Sister Renee, who has been working with me for the past 12 years behind the scenes, because of her dedication, we will set up a local chapter in West Memphis, Arkansas to honor her. I can't pass down this business to my family members because a majority of them are full of Willie Lynch. I will only pass down this business to GRCAM members. And we will have protocol in place so that when I am dead and gone, the business will continue for the next 100 years. We also want to replicate the business in Africa, Brazil, and in the Caribbean. My political views, according to the New York Times, quote, Black voters drift from Democrats, imperiling Harris bid poll shows, unquote. The Democrats are panicking because Kamala Harris is not doing well in the polls. This is why they sent former President Barack Obama out to talk to get black men back on the Democrat plantation. She's about to crash and burn. They also put Magic Johnson out there, and now they're going to flood social media with Democratic shields coming against black media, including myself. But I'm here for it. I noticed that when I check my video podcast on my smartphone, the volume is very low and making it janky. This is why I provide a transcript of my actual speech on my Medium page. Democrat shields are welcome to come on my platform and have a conversation with me about this election because, you know, your girl is losing. I found another article, this one from the Wall Street Journal, entitled, quote, Kamala Harris, Agenda for Black Men. Will open to all. Campaign says, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. I read over the Kamala Harris plan for black men. The first bulletin point raised a red flag for me because it said provide 1 million forgivable loans up to $20,000 to black entrepreneurs and others. When it says others, again, that's trick bag language. For 3 decades, I have educated GRCAM members about what to watch out for when these career politicians use certain words that were meant for our group and end up benefiting everybody else. For example, when the white supremacist financial elites decided to pass the civil rights legislation, they included the word, quote, minority, unquote, which was used to undermine all the hard work that our ancestors fought and died for to help our racial group in this nation. Instead, all of these other groups are included with our benefits, and that's not cool because we're not included with theirs. And none of those people, none of these other groups was on those plantations, with us or with our ancestors. This is why we're focusing on lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves / freedmen, because no other group in America was working in those plantations. Kamala Harris' campaign was trying to finance black men into voting for her by putting out a fake plan for black men, which was intended for all minority groups. We reject such words as minority, people of color. We want the term black used for what we have going on. I read through her plan on her website. It was saying HBCUs and minority serving institutions, and kept repeating other minorities. Other trick bag languages I told my members to watch out for was distressed communities, displaced urban communities. That's all of finance to gain the black vote. Not something specifically to benefit us, but to benefit everyone else. Her campaign had to admit this was a lift all tides type of program. Her campaign said that the program listed under the agenda for black will be open to all Americans on a race-neutral basis, so that whole political campaign targeting black men was a waste of time. We never asked for an agenda for black men. We prefer one agenda for black Americans, both male and female. But as you can see, the Democrats like to cause a gender war between black men and black women. In 2023, the court said it's unconstitutional to consider race in college admissions, and this is why we don't talk about race. Instead, we talk about lineage. That is a federal classification for black Americans is descendants of American slaves / freemen, is the best delineation term which separates us from all these other groups. Edward Bloom, latest victory at the Supreme Court, fought to take race out of college admission. He planned on suing the Harris administration if they make it into law. Kamala Harris seemed to be promising racially exclusive programs which have been repeatedly struck down in the courts. The Harris campaign insists they're not misleading black men. The whole thing was a finance that was nothing more than symbolism. This is the level that they will go to get the black vote. They'd rather lie to you than never anticipate for you and I to read what they posted on their website. I don't want nobody trying to finance me to vote. When someone pulls a bait and switch on you, it doesn't feel good. Kamala Harris is willing to lie to us as black men and attach the, the term freeman. Freeman is a classification of descendants of American slaves slash is not based on race, rather based on lineage. If she was serious about helping black men, then she would have spoken out against the California Reparations Commission action that killed that bill. We have to do things in America based on lineage, not race. If it's based on race, then the courts will strike it down. Shame on you all for trying to finance black men instead of actually doing right by black America and having some policies wins under their administration. If the Biden-Harris administration would have given us economic tangibles in the form of lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves slash freemen and an anti-black hate crime bill, they would win this election hands down. It's within our political right to demand that these career politicians offer us policies that will benefit our group as a collective, and for them to give us clear and concise answers on these policies. We're not beholden to any political party or candidate. We have a right to choose what works best in our interests. These career politicians think black Americans are supposed to be the property of the Democrats. Hell no. We're not voting for personalities. We're voting for policies. The Biden-Harris administration gave illegal immigrants all kinds of benefits and resources. They gave millions and billions of dollars for wars in Ukraine and Israel. They gave the Asian community resources and an anti-Asian hate crime bill. The Democrats are in trouble. They have to resort to lying and financing black men. My political issue is the economy and illegal immigration. I am voting against blue no matter who. That's real. I predict that Kamala Harris will lose worse than Hillary Clinton. According to the New York Times article, Kamala Harris doesn't have Hillary Clinton's numbers or even Joe Biden's number. How do you expect for her to win? Truth be told, a lot of black Americans are not feeling her on the Democrat Party because these career politicians don't keep their promises. Look what happened in California. Governor Gavin Newsom and the black Democrats, they set up here, did a reparation commission, had all these meetings, did all this stuff with the task force. Then when it was time to deliver, the black Democrats killed the bill. Yet these illegal immigrants are given all sorts of benefits and resources while we get nothing. This is why black Americans are saying the hell with the Democrat Party at this point. If you won't give us economic tangibles, then you will not get our votes. Black men will be blamed if Kamala Harris loses the election. Not white men, not Latino men, not Asian men. I'm cool with that because, like I said, I'm used to being treated by this society. America has a love-hate relationship with black American men. When black American men were voting for Democrats, they were prioritizing all these other groups over us, even non-citizens, at the expense of our vote. If black American men have to suffer, then we all are going to suffer. The Biden-Harris administration messed up the economy and they messed up the American society. Barack Obama can't do anything to save Kamala Harris' election because every time we go to the grocery store, we are reminded of what the Biden-Harris administration has done to the economy. I'm proud of Black American men for getting on code, but we can do a lot more if Black America would embrace my vision and plan to help improve to turn around our situation in these United States of America. Please purchase my revised book, either the ebook or the paperback, and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan, then send me a friend request to my LinkedIn page or to my TikTok page. So that way we can make arrangements to get you on this platform so we can talk about it. Also donate what you can towards the film project. Again, I'm so proud of the brothers taking a stand and actually respecting themselves, because the reason why these people don't respect Black America is because you vote against our own interests being off code only to help these other groups that benefit off our suffering. The Democrats don't do anything for us, so we have to treat them accordingly. America is getting more expensive to live in. For example, in New York City, it's about 5 figures to live there. The real estate prices across the United States of America are going up with the housing crisis, along with the migrant crisis, is what we have to deal with. That's the bad news. Those of you who are parents, it's going to be worse. Remember what inflation was 20 years ago. Imagine what the rent will be for your children 10 years from now. How many of you have taught your children the necessities of having the resourcefulness of turning $1 into $3? We're living in a competitive society. If Black America wants to remain relevant, then we need to connect with other like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants while we still have a chance. All these other groups are on code with one another. We have to do the same. This is why I wrote my revised book. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GRCAM members. GRCAM Chicago will teach our members and students about financial literacy. We also are going to practice group economics among ourselves. You can't rely on one income alone. It's good to have residual income, that is money that continues to flow after an initial investment. These are the kinds of conversations that we need to be talking about. Our grandparents from the civil rights era thought that having civil rights would help our people advance in America. Remember, before Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Assassination, he said that he was afraid that he was leading his people into a burning house. Our house is on fire. The only way we're going to be able to close this racial wealth gap is through reparations. Black Americans are not preparing our children for the future. The world is getting more hostile towards Black people as a collective worldwide. If you're not already prepared, I got bad news for you. That's what the last decade was supposed to be about. Now our children will have to compete for resources against migrant children. I was telling Black Americans 32 years ago to embrace my vision and plan. They laughed at me and took me for joke. And now, what I've written about in my revised book is coming to pass because the immigrants are here. I need GRCAM members to help me build the Kyle. Seems like I just lost my connection, so just bear with me. It is what it is. And yes, I am reading my speech without shame because I want the black world to know who I am and my story. And for those of you that's serious about seeing our children have a better future in life, then join GRCAM. I don't have any biological children because this world does not deserve my seed. I talk about that a little bit more in the book. So we're building the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for creative black and African thinkers. My goal is to have Chicago to become an economic base for the African American community as well as the African immigrant community. Black Americans need to learn about being owners of legitimate businesses. I don't care if you're just 8 people on the court. In our business, we will own the court and the team. The NBA has hundreds of players, yet none of those black players own any teams. Have you thought about owning your own sports team? Other groups are going to judge us by our resources, not our excuses. That's just how it is. Our grandparents did not leave us an inheritance because the white supremacist financial elite stole everything from them. For example, places like Black Wall Street or Rosewood, all of these places were taken by force. Violence, eminent domain, etc. Like it or not, Africa is our birthright, and all these other groups are flocking over there, buying up property left and right. I was told by one of my associates, who is an ex-patriot, who told me that a majority of businesses in Africa are owned by foreigners like Arabs, Asians, East Indians, and Europeans. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants in America to work with me so that we can first get this business popping here in America first for credibility. It's my hope that Chicago will become an international business just like McDonald's. I've been beating the drums about this for 3 decades now. There's no new ground to be given. Truth be told, I'm not getting pushback from white America, but rather I'm getting pushback from black America, the same people that my Christian business is trying to help. It's not cool at all, but again, that's that Willie Lynch mentality that we have to deal with. And that's what I'm here for. That's all I'm trying to do. It's not rocket science. The only thing that's missing is whether or not black Americans are going to embrace my vision and plan or not. Black America has 2 choices, either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. According to Fortune magazine entitled, quote, a Zoom meeting of 44,000 black women raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. This woman has been in office for 3.5 years. She has done nothing for the African American community, and yet black women have raised $1.5 million for her political campaign. In contrast, again, out of 2,000 people that was on my Facebook friends list, only one person has donated to the film project. And this is why I'm going public with my story. I refuse to sit up here and be ignored. Black American is acting funny style with me, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I'm trying to recruit brave and smart people outside of Chicago. I need y'all to, help me get that book on that bestsellers list so I can do my job. Also, donate what you can to this film project because I want the whole black world to know my story. You understand what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism have failed black people. I offer something better, but I need brave and smart, like-minded black Americans and brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants within America to make yourself known. Don't wait until I am dead. Work with me while I am alive. Real talk. We're going to continue moving forward with this film project because the future is going to be a lot more hostile toward black children because now we have around 25 million illegal immigrants that our children are going to have to compete with. Thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. They're opening up new schools for them because that's money from the Department of Education. Family, we're about to pass down a lesser pie to our children. That's than what we had when we were growing up. For example, in California alone, the median housing price is $1 million. Which cities have the highest homeless population in America? The answer is Los Angeles, New York City, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. Which racial group has the largest homeless population? Black Americans. All these cities are Democrat strongholds. Men are supposed to be competitive. Those of you who have children are supposed to ensure the love and well-being of your offspring, which is your legacy. Legacy is also what you build and what you have done with your life. My revised book is just the beginning. What I'm trying to build in Black America is needed, and it's beyond me, but I want to lay the groundwork for my Christian business, and I want to make sure none of my members will never have to endure such foolishness that I experienced just for trying to build something constructive for the African American community. Again, I can't pass this business down to my family members because majority of them are full of Willie Lynch. Since my book is barely selling, and since items on my virtual store is barely selling, all I have left is this film project. And this film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group. Once we get this film project fully funded and made and the proceeds start pouring in, that's going to put me in a better position financially. Like I say, I want to hire qualified black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants who are going to be GRCAM members for us to build this together. Once we have that physical building, I'm going to say situated on the west side of Chicago, we're going to hold mandatory orientations for local residents. People that come through our doors, we want to make sure that we vet them, that means screen them, that they pass our criminal background checks, that they sign the community pledge, and submit their thumbprints to be placed in our database. Because we want to keep tabs on who's doing what within the business. So no freeloaders over here. My revised book is the foundation of my Christian business. Our grandparents did their best to give us a better life. That's all I'm trying to do for my racial group, point blank. I will run my Christian business the way I run my home, drama-free. This business is not for me. This business is for our children. I view myself as Jeff Bezos. He started his company, Amazon, online, but eventually he turned his business into a multi-international business. I don't want to limit GRCAM to just Chicago alone or just in the United States. Again, I want this to be a global organization or business in Africa, Brazil, and in the Caribbean. I'm concerned about the next generation. This is why I want to make a film in order to reach the black masses. In European society, they teach their children to believe in themselves. Likewise, we will teach our members and students the same thing. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're going to be scared to take risks, then you will fail in life if you don't take those risks. In my business, we will stand against failure and keep our distance from naysayers. I want us to start having the idea about ownership. It's okay if you work a regular job 9 to 5. That's fine. But over here, we want to promote more black businesses and African businesses. On this platform, we want to teach those of you who want to learn. We will have balance. For example, we'll throw parties that will help raise funds for our projects and to help raise funds for our black empowerment films, to help put us on the map. We want our children to be safe and keep them out of the streets so that they don't become hardened criminals or selling dope and doing carjacking. That's not cool at all. Okay. In GRCAM Chicago, we want to reach at-risk youth by creating a second chance program for ex-offenders of nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals within our community. In addition, we aim to have a healing center for brothers and sisters who struggle with alcohol and drug addiction. When we talk about black empowerment and trying to start our own businesses, the white supremacist financial elites do their best to block us from getting startup funding. Notice the banks will give black Americans a car loan, but when it comes to getting capital for a startup business, they put us through changes. Notice that the white supremacist financial elites is not telling us to go back to Africa because they know if black Americans up and leave America, then their economy would crash because black Americans as a collective is the largest consumer of any group in America. Please read the article entitled, quote, Black Consumers Empowered, unquote. Black Americans as a collective have $1 trillion spending power. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. If you're the largest consumer, then that means you spend a lot of money. I found a video entitled, quote, Washington journalist Dr. Jason Hill on the teaching of Black history and reparations, unquote. To watch the full video, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. This video talked about a Jamaican immigrant named Dr. Jason Hill, who published a book, quote, What Do White America's Owe Black People? Racial Justice in the Age of Post-Oppression, unquote. In his book, he said, the Civil Rights Bill was our reparation. We are sick and tired of these white supremacist financial elites who are importing these tethers that are put in positions and act like they are our spokesmen, when in fact they are not part of our lineage or culture. People like him and Barack Obama. It's a new day. In Obama's case, I encourage all of my listeners to read the full article entitled, quote, Obama administration earmarks $12 million for Holocaust survivors, unquote. Also watch the video entitled, quote, Obama says it's not fair to make Latinos and Asian communities pay Black Americans reparations, unquote. Then read the article entitled, quote, Oklahoma top court rejects case by Black Wall Street race massacre survivors, unquote. Notice the double standard. You can find all of the information on my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. Japanese Americans received compensation for their grievance after World War II. American Indians received compensation for their grievance under the Trail of Tears. Yet none of the people living today experience what their ancestors went through, but they always say that, slavery happened a long time ago, and, us, that's descendants, that we shouldn't get anything. And that's not right. We're going to fight like hell to get those reparations. We have Black survivors of Black Wall Street who are still alive today being denied compensation for their grievance. Again, that's the double standards. Yet, former President Barack Obama gave American Jews $12 million to Holocaust survivors, but to add insult to injury, that didn't happen here. That's the problem. That happened over there in Germany. And again, that's insult to injury when they deny us, the people that built this country. He was against reparation for descendants of American slaves / freedmen. I voted for him twice, and his administration did nothing at all for the African American community. This act alone made me lose respect for this man. All of a sudden, he shows up trying to talk down to Black men to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm like, give me a break, man. The Black grassroots are checking these career politicians and demanding that these career politicians offer us economic tangibles in the form of lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves / freedmen. Otherwise, we're going to watch them crash and burn. And again, what I'm going to do, and I encourage others to vote against blue no matter who. Well, getting back to this Dr. Jason Hill, he is a philosopher, professor at DePaul University. His argument is that reparations, by and large, have already been made to Black Americans through the 1964 Civil Rights Act and through affirmative action programs through cultural reparations and the 1972 Employment Act. What happened was they allowed the public to call into the show. Two descendants of American slaves / freedmen called in. A brother and a sister had to check this tether for speaking on our issues. Reparation which does not involve him. People like him who come over here just want to benefit off the Civil Rights Act that our ancestors fought and died for. Black Americans. There are so many immigrant set-asides like grants and loans that Black Americans cannot get. This man is so disrespectful. He sounds like a white racist. Anyone like him that is going to speak out against our interests, I'm going to say this in balance. Not all Jamaican immigrants or African immigrants are like him. If you are supportive of Black Americans, then we will rock with you. But if you come over here trying to undermine us and talk down to us, Black Americans, we're going to check you. That's all. We ain't going for that mess. We will place you in the categories with our domestic coons and sellouts. It's Black Americans who have to be at the forefront of these conversations about reparations. Those of you who are from the Caribbean need to talk with GRCAM. Once we get our reparations, then African immigrants from the Caribbean, Afro-Brazilians, and Afro-Latinos, as well as Native Africans on the continent, will also get your reparations as well. A lot of American citizens are having an issue with Kamala Harris because we're spending millions of dollars on illegal immigrants while American citizens are struggling in a bad economy. This is why a brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed created the delineation movement known as FBA, Foundational Black Americans. This happened because a few African immigrants from Nigeria start coming over here and putting down our history and our culture, calling us Akatas. That also happened from the Caribbean. This has caused a rift between Black Americans and Black immigrants and African immigrants, which has created this online diaspora wars. This is why I want like-minded African immigrants and like-minded Black Americans to join GRCAM, and let's heal from enslavement and colonization, and use this technology called the internet to help first get my revised book on that bestsellers list, and also for you all to donate what you can to the film project, either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page. The proceeds from the film will help put me in a better position financially, so like I say, I can hire qualified Black middle-class professionals, African immigrants, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Brazilians, and Afro-Latinos, as well as Black Americans, so that way we can build this thing together. But we're going to be GRCAM members, bottom line. We need all the like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants on deck. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this video podcast and share it with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. We're now going to open up the phone lines start side B. I will drop the link in the chat room so that you can come on the show. You will have to let me see you on camera first in order to weed out anyone that's on here trying to troll. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Again, please put me on blast by telling all your friends and family to watch our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send a challenge out to everyone that is listening to this video podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people who are trapped in American ghettos, started in Chicago. Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaigns, either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support us on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I encourage you to donate through our PayPal page because you can use it as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99 and the paperback is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this video podcast in the comment section. I would like to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. All right, so I'm going to do the best that I can. Right now, I'm going to use something called Riverside. And so on there, you could try to connect with me on my YouTube. I'm gonna, like I say, put that link in there and in the chat room, and all you do is click on that. And like I say, if I can see you on camera first, then you can come on the show. But we want to exclude these trolls. You know what I'm saying? Okay, with that being said, we'll do the best we can to use this new streaming site called Riverside. All right. Phone lines are now open.